Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Supreme Collection Winter 2024 of November 2024. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and have the opportunity to gain early access to videos by buying a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. Your support will mean the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have RoboCop Rogue City, a first-person action game by Tion, bringing the iconic 80s sci-fi hero back to life. Released on November 2023, this game captures the spirit of its cinematic inspiration, offering a straightforward yet heartfelt experience. The game places you in the heavy metal boots of Alex Murphy, blending light role-playing elements with plenty of satisfying action. You'll make dialogue choices that slightly affect outcomes, engage in optional missions, and explore a gritty slice of Detroit. The plot is simple, centering on a mysterious new guy in town who inexplicably garners attention from every gang, media outlet, and police force. It is absurd, but it sets the stage for plenty of classic RoboCop chaos. The combat is where Rogue City truly shines. Armed with the iconic Auto 9 pistol and other weapons, you will clomp through levels, dishing out brutal justice with a visceral mix of gunfire and environmental carnage. Authentic touches, like RoboCop's clunky movement and heavy footsteps, immerse you in the role. The weapon upgrade system is quirky, yet rewarding, letting you tailor your arsenal as you progress. Despite some rough edges such as limited ability use, occasional glitches, and a plot lacking depth, the game's charm and love for the source material are undeniable. It is not a AAA masterpiece, but its sincerity and satisfying gameplay make it an enjoyable tribute to RoboCop fans. Tion proves once again that they understand how to adapt cult classics. At number 2 we have Another Crab's Treasure, a unique hybrid of Souls-like and platforming that stars Krill, a hermit crab on a quest to reclaim his stolen shell from a loan shark. The game offers a playful underwater setting, brimming with humor and creativity, all while delivering combat reminiscent of Dark Souls. You'll be dodging, slashing, and grappling your way through foes, using quirky replacement shells, like sushi rolls and rubber ducks, that add depth and fun to the gameplay. The combat strikes a balance between approachable and challenging, especially once you unlock the grappling hook, which transforms battles into dynamic tug-of-wars. If you struggle, smart difficulty options and forgiving checkpoints help smooth the way, making this a potential entry point for newcomers to the genre. Platforming is also a highlight, with satisfying exploration and dedicated jump button, a rarity in the Souls-like realm. The game's humor leans heavily on puns and satirical jabs at capitalism, but its tone is divisive. While some jokes land well, others feel forced, and the adult humor occasionally clashes with the overall aesthetic. Despite the script's unevenness, you'll encounter memorable characters and laugh-out-loud visual gags, from crabs wearing bleach bottles to lobsters jousting with toilet brushes. Visually, each area is distinct and delightful, blending epic underwater vistas with absurd moments. While some rough edges like minor glitches could use patching, Another Crab's Treasure remains a charming, sea-worthy adventure worth your time. It is both a parody and a living homage to the Souls-like genre. At number 3 we have Dungeons of Hinterberg, a captivating mix of puzzle solving, combat, and social exploration set in the magical Austrian mountain town. You play as Louisa, a burned-out young lawyer searching for meaning and reprieve in a tourist haven turned fantastical with the arrival of dungeons and magic. But what begins as a whimsical vacation deepens into a journey of self-discovery and a quest to uncover the town's mysteries. Your days follow a structured rhythm: mornings for meals, afternoons for dungeon dives, evenings for mingling with locals and tourists, and nights for personal downtime. This balance keeps gameplay engaging as you manage Louisa's stats: familiarity, renown, relaxation, and amusement. Social interactions are refreshingly dynamic, introducing you to a diverse cast with their own reasons for being in Hinterberg, making every relationship feel meaningful. The dungeon gameplay shines with inventive puzzles and unique magic-based mechanics. Each region, forested Hinterwald, snowy Kalmstein, or swampy Brunelsump, is beautifully realized, and their dungeons cleverly incorporate local themes. Combat is simple yet satisfying, with Louisa wielding magic powers and an attack conduit to slash through enemies. However, boss fights lack challenge and depth, a minor stumble in an otherwise compelling experience. The art direction is breathtaking, blending picturesque environments with fantastical elements. Social mechanics echo real-life tourism, encouraging you to build connections while reflecting on the town's exploited magic industry. The grounded storytelling, paired with magical touches, makes this game resonate emotionally. Dungeons of Hinterberg is an artistic and satisfying journey of puzzles, people, and personal growth. At number 4 we have High on Life, a shooter game developed by Justin Roiland, co-author of Rick and Morty. Set in the universe of the animated series, the game offers a bright and humorous adventure that may not appeal to everyone. The game features witty and absurd jokes, along with crude humor, and its reception depends on personal taste for Roiland's style. Despite its shortcomings, High on Life manages to engage players and has received positive reviews. The gameplay revolves around a sociophobic protagonist who must save Earth from an alien drug cartel. Assisted by various characters, including sentient guns with unique abilities, players embark on a humorous and action-packed journey. The game offers a range of weapons and abilities, allowing for entertaining combat and satisfying exploration. While High on Life has its strengths, such as interesting characters, a solid plot, and well-developed world building, it also has some flaws. The game features excessive chatter and intentionally annoying elements that may test players' patience. Additionally, the game's limited number of locations and enemy types may leave players wanting more. Despite its imperfections, High on Life delivers an enjoyable and humorous experience, especially for fans of Rick and Morty. The game showcases the developer's passion and creativity, and although it may not be perfect, it holds promise for future releases from the Roiland team. With its fun shooting mechanics, original voice acting, and developed world detail, High on Life offers an entertaining experience for approximately 8 to 12 hours of gameplay. High on Knife, the first DLC for Squanch Games' crude humor FPS, High on Life, which shifts focus from the titular talking guns to the underutilized Knifey, a talking melee weapon with a singular goal: to stab things violently. Knifey receives a package from his home world, but due to a shipping error, it ends up at the Muxlin HQ on the boiling salt planet of Peroxis. This leads to an adventure filled with Squanch Games' trademark absurdity. If you're just diving into High on Life, imagine an episode of Rick and Morty turned into a game, much like Trover Saves the Universe and Accounting Plus, both backed by Rick and Morty creator Justin Roiland. The base game starts with aliens showing up and deciding to smoke humans. With humanity as the newest drug, you grab a sentient gun and hunt the G3 cartel responsible. This DLC takes place a couple of years after this crisis, with you now a full-blown bounty hunter. Knifey, eager to see his homeworld again, prompts you to head to Peroxis to find Muxlin HQ and retrieve the package. Peroxis, a planet of salt inhabited by slugs, provides a unique but flat landscape. The Muxlin HQ, in contrast, offers a vertical survival horror experience with grotesque enemies. Knifey's character shines, balancing impatience and murder lust with humor. The DLC introduces a new gun, BALL, a pinball gun that's mechanically pleasing and amusing. However, the new pistol, Harper, falls flat. Knifey's chainsaw upgrade steals the show, turning executions into visceral spectacles. While the humor is not always on point, and Peroxis is not the best setting, the Muxlin HQ and Knifey's character arc make High on Knife a worthwhile DLC. At number 5 we have Akimbot, a nostalgic action-packed platformer that takes you back to the early 2000s with a fresh spin. Playing as EXE, a wisecracking edgy mercenary, you're thrust into a high-stakes time-travel adventure where blasting robots and intense platforming take center stage. The storyline may not be groundbreaking, but the real draw here is the gameplay, which expertly combines fast-paced shooting and smooth platforming in varied challenging environments. You'll wield 4 weapons, each suited to different scenarios, sniping distant foes with a rifle or tearing through close-range bots with a chain gun. Movement is fluid, and platforming elements like double jumping, wall running, and grappling hooks make exploration exhilarating. If you miss a jump, forgiving checkpoints ensure you're not overly penalized, so the flow of action never feels interrupted. Beyond shooting and platforming, Akimbot brings refreshing variety with vehicle-based segments, racing cars, piloting spaceships, and tackling hacking minigames. Although the fetch quests and the stealth section can feel tedious, the game remains engaging overall. Akimbot performs flawlessly, with vivid nostalgic graphics that capture each level's unique style and color. While the voice acting is hit or miss, the robot-themed dialogue and well-suited music add to the atmosphere. If you're a fan of classic platformers and don't mind the occasional story hiccup, Akimbot is a well-polished throwback worth experiencing. Evil Raptor has created a thrilling homage that'll keep you hooked till the end. At number 6 we have Star Wars Bounty Hunter, a remastered take on a 2002 LucasArts classic, bringing Jango Fett's story to a new generation of gamers. Set shortly after the Phantom Menace, the game immerses you in a criminal underworld as Jango, who accepts a contract from Count Dooku to eliminate Komare Vosa, a fallen Jedi. This mission unfolds an intriguing backstory that adds depth to Fett's character and his ties to the Sith. The gameplay centers on bounties, exploration, and combat, with Fett's iconic dual pistols, flamethrower, whipcord, and wrist rockets offering strategic variety. Once you unlock the jetpack, traversal becomes faster and more dynamic. Despite remastered graphics, the game's age shows in its repetitive environments, stiff controls, and lack of an in-game map. These elements can make navigation frustrating, especially when you're lost in areas with similar-looking walls. Combat is a mixed bag. Lock-on targeting works well for single enemies, but struggles in chaotic encounters, while auto-shooting lacks precision. Running and gunning often simplifies combat, making some boss fights feel underwhelming. Still, the story's engaging narrative and nostalgic Star Wars atmosphere will keep you hooked. For fans of the original, the remaster is a chance to revisit classic gameplay with improved visuals. Newcomers can explore Jango's journey and iconic settings like Coruscant and Tatooine, along with lesser-known locales like Felucia. Hidden collectibles and unlockables, including a Marvel comic and hilarious outtakes, add replay value. If you can overlook its dated mechanics, Star Wars Bounty Hunter is a thrilling dive into the galaxy, far, far away. At number 7 we have It's Only Money, an open-world simulation game where the mayor of Rockhaven casts you into the chaotic Undercity for having a low net worth. Here, you and up to 3 friends must steal, fight, and scheme your way to reclaim the city, complete with customizable vehicles, buyable businesses, and a fight against the mayor's forces. The game's low-poly graphics are vibrant, complemented by a retro-style UI reminiscent of old Windows systems. You'll find plenty of settings to tweak graphics and controls, as well as robust character creation options. Driving through the city is a highlight, with third-person views, drifting mechanics, and radio stations to enjoy. The gameplay revolves around exploration, bounties, and mayhem. Pickpocketing, looting bins, buying businesses, and tackling set-piece missions add variety, while the hack-and-slash combat system keeps encounters engaging. The game's humor, scavenging opportunities, and online multiplayer make it a sandbox for creative chaos. However, flaws do exist. Navigation can feel unclear due to repetitive environments and invisible walls. Controls are squishy, and high sensitivity hampers gameplay. The stamina and food bar systems can frustrate, interrupting the fun with resource management. Frequent cutscenes also slow the pacing, and the lack of voice acting leaves character interactions feeling flat. Despite shortcomings, It's Only Money offers a quirky and colorful sandbox experience. If you're willing to embrace its chaotic energy and rough edges, you'll find a game packed with humor, exploration, and the freedom to wreak havoc in Rockhaven. At number 8 we have Bears in Space, a retro-style first-person shooter that combines frenetic action, absurd humor, and creative mechanics. You play as Maxwell Adams, a geriatric space hero who, after an accident, merges with a she-bear named Bear Tana. Together, you must battle through robot-infested levels, from dungeons to space carnivals, on your mission to return to Earth. The gameplay is a thrilling mix of classic 90s shooter chaos and modern quirks. With double jumps, dashes, and a unique ability to shift into a giant bear form after consuming honey, you'll tackle massive levels filled with platforming, collectibles, and bosses. The gunplay is dynamic and varied, forcing you to cycle through weapons like a rubber band anvil launcher or the hilariously named SFG. As you use weapons, they level up and evolve, keeping combat fresh and exciting. The presentation is intentionally quirky, with chunky, colorful visuals, reminiscent of old-school gaming. The humor ranges from slapstick to niche, evoking comparisons to Conker's Bad Fur Day or Time Splitters. While the Aussie voice acting shines, some sound effects and jokes might not land for everyone. Though Bears in Space embraces its retro roots, it's not without flaws. Minor technical issues like occasional freezing or stuttering in cutscenes can distract you, but they don't overshadow the overall charm. If you grew up with boomer shooters or enjoy playful, over-the-top action, Bears in Space offers an engaging, laugh-out-loud journey packed with nostalgic fun. It's a love letter to the genre, with plenty of heart. At number 9 we have Ghostwire Tokyo, an action-adventure game that will make you feel like Doctor Strange. The game is not a horror experience akin to Silent Hill nor the Evil Within series. Instead, it offers a neon-dunked Japanese adventure where you wield cool spirit powers and interact with adorable dogs. The combat in Ghostwire Tokyo is enjoyable and forms a significant part of the gameplay. It is not overly complex, but offers a satisfying experience of shooting light at enemies with magical hands, talismans acting as grenades, and a spirit bow. As the game progresses, the protagonist Akito gains archery buffs that allow for precise headshots and strategic takedowns. The city of Tokyo in Ghostwire Tokyo is marvelously crafted, with intricate details and a realistic atmosphere. Tango Gameworks succeeds in making the city feel fresh and distinct in different areas, and navigating through alleys and hiding spots feels immersive. However, the game falls short in certain aspects. The story is mediocre, focusing on Akito's quest to save his sister and his reluctant alliance with the ghost KK. The protagonist's relationship lacks depth and emotional exploration, while the writing shines more in the portrayal of the villain Hanya and the allies Ed and Rinko. Despite its creepy setting, Ghostwire Tokyo fails to deliver a true horror. It leans more towards action rather than horror, even though it contains plenty of ghosts. The game lacks genuine scares, and a few instances of fear quickly dissipate, diminishing the potential for a truly terrifying experience. Although there are a few cool bosses and unique quest situations, most of the content feels predictable and lacks surprises. Ghostwire Tokyo offers around 10.5 hours of gameplay, which can extend to 20 hours with side missions. The side missions, however, are forgettable, usually involving fighting enemies to cleanse specific areas. In conclusion, Ghostwire Tokyo is a fun action game reminiscent of older titles like Infamous or Watch Dogs with a Japanese twist. While it may not excel in terms of horror, theme, or graphics, it provides uncomplicated fun. It's like indulging a sugary treat after a long walk, and it is mindlessly fun to beat up some ghosts. At number 10 we have Dune Imperium, a digital adaptation of the acclaimed board game, blending strategy, deck building, and worker placement in the iconic universe of Dune. In Dune Imperium, you dive into the cutthroat world of Arrakis, where you command one of the great houses, vying for control over the precious spice. The game combines intricate deck building with strategic worker placement, providing a deeply immersive experience. Each of the 10 rounds presents new conflicts on Arrakis, offering opportunities for gaining resources and victory points. Your success hinges on your ability to balance military might, political influence, and economic power. You'll navigate alliances and rivalries with key factions like the Bene Gesserit, the Spacing Guild, and the Fremen. The AI opponents offer a challenging yet fair fight, reflecting the game's intricate mechanics well. Whether you're playing online, locally with AI, or tackling solo challenges, the game ensures every session is dynamic and engaging. With overwhelmingly positive reviews, players appreciate the game's faithfulness to its board game roots and its well-executed digital transition. The UI is slick and user-friendly, making it easy to manage your strategy. The game's complexity is balanced by its intuitive design, allowing both newcomers and veterans to enjoy a rich gameplay experience. Dune Imperium is a standout digital board game that captures the essence of its physical counterpart, while offering a robust and enjoyable solo and multiplayer experience. If you're a fan of strategic depth and the Dune universe, this game is a must-have. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle offers a mix of exciting titles, but its pricing and value remain divisive. While standouts like RoboCop and Another Crab's Treasure offer appealing discounts, some games, like Ghostwire Tokyo, are usually cheaper elsewhere, reducing the bundle's overall allure. Fans of newer releases like Wild Bastards may find it worthwhile, but to others, it might be a little overpriced. This bundle is tempting for niche preferences, but leaves broader appeal up for debate. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider unlocking early access to videos by buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.